It is Sunday, July 27th, 2025, and you are at our home in Duluth, Minnesota. It is zone 3B to 4B, depends on the way the wind blows up here. And my wife said that I should take some pictures and show everyone what things look like when the daylily bloom season is going, because she thinks people don't really understand. And she's right. When we moved up here and started having plant sales, I would tell people, hey, we have daylilies. And they would say, oh, I have daylilies. And I'd be like, oh, you do? And invariably it was always, they have orange daylily, Hemerocallis fulva, and that's all they really knew of daylilies. And I kind of, for a variety of reasons, some of my hosta buddies got me into hybridizing. And I said, we got to change that. There's 100,000, well, now there is 100,000 registered daylily cultivars as of 2025. And the one I'm starting off with right here isn't one of those. This is a seedling. I call it Edie seedling. It was sent to me as a gift. I love it. It's got these nice stripes going down the midribs. That's something I've decided I'm going to work towards in my breeding. I just like the way that looks. So I give this one the garden name of Edie seedling. And I'm going to give you a tour today of everything that's in bloom because, well, there's a lot. So it's going to be a nice long video today. I hope you enjoy. It's windy. It's super hot. We are in a heat wave everywhere in the Midwest. So this is Space Coast Tiger Tail Tango. It is always one of the top 10 up here. Always bold, always big, always beautiful. There's my hand for comparison. It is a big flower. It's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so things are starting to fade in the heat, but that's in the shadows. Dark Dubonnet. If it was a cooler day, this is Vegas, or sorry, Vegas Jackpot. Took a few years for this to get established. It was one of the earliest things I got, and now that it's established, it is performing really well up here. Deep Impact, diploid version. There's also the tetraploid version running around. You'll notice that in some cases I've taken pollen. I've been pollinating all day as the heat will allow. This is Subhana Ansari's Thank God, which did overwinter here, so I'm really excited about that. For some reason, pufferfish's scape fell over. There's pufferfish. So we're gonna have to stake that one up, I guess. There's other fans, but that scape, I noticed it on the ground today. There's more in the shadows. In the morning it is black. Heavenly double shark bite. Never looks like the photos. This one will probably get the boot at the end of this year. I'm not sure, or next year, but I'm kind of done with it. Not every daylily lives up to its expectations here. This is another seedling. Some days looks better than others. We have a garden name for this, Better Dead Than Red. I really like the scapes. Just so much branching. Actually really tall, way taller than what it was supposed to be when it was sent to me. And we'll pan over some hostas for a little bit. This is a new one to the garden, still in the pot. This is Bee Buzzes. I like all of Didacare's plants, so whenever they show up and I don't have them, I grab them and worry about where to get them later. This is Avon Sunrise, looking good. Let's come down here. There's some seedlings. Yeah, it's always a mess because I am the master of taking on too much. Franz Hall's here. Classic, I keep a clump around. I actually have more than that, but the Tribble with Blue. Look at that. This is Mike Darrow's A Tribble with Blue. I've found it to be personally pod difficult. It is hard to set a pod on. I don't know if that's because of where we live or if I'm just not using the right plants, but who cares, because it is awesome. It is one of the earliest plants, which for a long time I thought, oh, season extenders, rebloom. Well, up here in Minnesota, especially northern Minnesota, no, I think early season is more important because everything starts so late. I mean, there are people who are already, harvesting seeds, and I feel like I just started hybridizing a week ago. So let's, this hill used to look a lot better, but these maples are now huge. The hostas get to fight it out. Walk around to a lot of planted or potted plants here. And I'm going to try to show you everything today, whether it looks good or not. That's Chiara. All right, so I was at the Northern Lights You Dig sale, and I was up late potting plants so that the blooms would keep going. Which one was this? So this was, they all got numbers, and it's kind of, this is 25.2 for now. So this is a Grossman toothy. This is the one that everyone went bonkers over, including myself. So this is 25-13, that's a diploid. That's one of Kathleen's. This one for now is 25-12, another diploid. Looking good. Let's see if I can come around there. So, I really liked the white edges on that one. There were a whole bunch of these. All very similar in kind of color scheme. What else bloomed today? Haha, yeah, look at that. Now I took pictures, and obviously these plants are stressed from being dug and moved. So I took pictures during the sale. So this one, where is it? This is 25-4. So the pictures are probably better representations, but I just wanted to keep them going if I could. Look at that. And you know, I have to say, if this is a plant that Mike said no thanks, what does that mean about the plants that he's keeping? Which number was this? 25-5. So if you're looking at the photos that I posted on Facebook, that's 25-5. And okay, this is like chest height on me. Yeah, this is pretty big. This one didn't open up today for some reason. This is 25-1. This was, or no, 10. Sorry. And then these guys are cute. 25-9. Kind of liked the black and the ruffles. I thought that was pretty neat. 25-8. I'm going to steal the pollen because this is, I think, the last bloom. Or no, there's one more bud there. But I'm not getting a lot of chances. And incidentally, I had Thanos bloom, which I'll show you in a minute. So every diploid here just got hit with Thanos. so Thanos on all of these is going to be kind of neat. And this one's opening up kind of late. This one is -7, 25-7. So that one, I don't think, did that get, I might have gotten pollinated. But yeah, they're stressed out. That's okay. And it's really hot. So there's Purple Badger, really already looking wilty, but hey. Laser Face from Bart back in Idaho. Laser Face. That pollen has been going all over the place. I think he has it registered as a semi. So I've been throwing it on dormants. Here's a bunch of seedlings. Seedlings. Lots and lots of seedlings, and this is nothing. Where to go next? Well, the Upside Down from Chad Bush. Tower of Babel in one of the sale pots. Pink stripes bloom today. I have it planted kind of everywhere, but there's pink stripes. Stella de Oro, because why not? Look at all those pods. Early season, and planes flying overhead because we are in that flight path, but nothing wrong with early season. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing Stella just because it is so early. And they're all facing the wrong way today, but this is my CF tarantula because we don't know what it is. It looks like Jean. It looks like tarantula. It might turn out to just be a weedling that has grown up and been passed along to me. There's Hyperion in a pot. The first blooms today on Purple de Oro. Here we go. Better face on CF tarantula. So we don't know what that one is. If anyone recognizes that plant and knows, it's got to be old. And it's got these really nice tall scapes with really good branching. And really good bud count. Might be a bud builder. And Bismillah is in bloom today. This is Subhana Ansari's Bismillah. Again, that I call that a starburst eye. But it overwintered here in Duluth, right along the road. So if it can take it here, I think that's a pretty safe bet. All right, let's come over this way. Take Me Home from Northern Lights Daylilies. That is a bold bloom. I love that bloom. And right around here, Spotted Fever. And there's seldom pollen, but it is a good pod parent. So now that it's kind of clumped up, I am pollinating it a lot. Let's walk up here. Gleeful Gaze. Had trouble getting settled in this spot, but eventually it will be happy. Let's walk here really quick. Moonlit Masquerade. This is a seedling, so we call this Linda Ball's Bright Polychrome. Kind of buried here in the weeds. Identity Crisis. And let's walk down this way. So the plan of this garden here on the hill was to kind of merge the wildflower planting on that hill, on my neighbor's, and kind of just slowly transitioned into something more formalized. So not for everyone's taste, but I like it. So that's sitting on a rainbow. And right here, Warhorse. So for those who like Asiatics, that's a big clump of Cancun right there. All right, let's keep walking this way. See what we see. Right here. So this is a seedling. Does not have a name. There's the tag G1912. I would have to look that up. This is Dragon Rider from Rod Lintz. Let me get around here. Dragon Rider. Nice and dark, but I've had no luck setting pods on this. And as much as I like it, I might get the boot after this year if it doesn't set pods. Because I also have Dragon Ship and In the Shadows, all in the same kind of genre. There is Freaky Freckles, first flower open today. It is way more vibrant in person than any picture shows it online. So Freaky Freckles, if you get a chance to get it, I recommend it. Spots Before My Eyes right there. All right, let's keep walking. Carol, I believe this is a Carol Emmerich plant, Rainbow in the Clouds. That is another big bloom. There's my hand for comparison. Really big bloom. All right. This one got a little whacked. Didn't quite open up right, but that is one of my favorites. House of Misrepresentatives. All right. Let's go look at what I call the Hell Strip Triangle. So it has a lot of Always Afternoon planted in it, but Always Afternoon, I mean, the old neighbors here, not my lovely new neighbors who I love, but the ones before them ran these over all the time, and they're still here. I mean, like multiple times, just ran through the clumps, crushed them completely, and they're still here, still ticking. That's a, that tells you something. And they're just starting to bloom. Look at all those buds. So Always Afternoon. There's another Warhorse. Kindly Light right there. Another one I have trouble setting pods on, so I've reduced myself down to one just because I do like it. But and people always ask what this is. Santa Domingo, if anyone wants to know. So I'll walk you over here. This is my neighbor's bed. He said, I'll give you the plants if I can just pollinate on them and whatnot and steal their pollen. He said, sure. So we came to a nice agreement. And so now I have extra space. So Antique Nouveau. And it did not do well where I had it in the back. And it's doing better up here in the hill strip. I mean, right along the road, all the rolled salt, everything. So I moved some plants to see if they would do better here. And some of them do, which is surprising. And Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, this is the first flower open. I like to say a lot of times the first flower open stinks. No offense to Carol. Yeah, that one is not good, but this does have really nice flowers. So Rocky Horror for a double bloom today. Look at that. Beautiful. And I didn't realize this was a diploid. So finally putting the right pollen on it. Over here, Gentle Fay. Gentle Fay. And Heavenly Orange Blaze right there. Stole all this pollen, but that is Song of Myself. It'll be taller once it settles in because, that's how the bed is planned. So it's kind of down here, but Song of Myself. And again, Hyperion. And I gotta look at the tag on this one. This is Tooth and Nail. Ah, yeah. Tooth and Nail right there. And what else we got blooming today? Oh yeah. Let's walk around here. So there's a piece of Always Afternoon I brought over here so it would kind of mirror what I put there. A lot of these are similar. So this is Monkey Maker, which is not supposed to be there. The tag says Richard Guerin, so something got mixed up. So that's going to get dug out and replaced. And Broadmoor Fantasy, which I love. This is Blue Dude right there. And this was a surprise. I received this as a gift plant, and obviously I stole all the pollen because it's a diploid and I need more diploids to play with. This is Every Other, and it opened up first flowers with a double. And they are bold and beautiful. So I know it's available, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth it now that I've seen it really, start to come into its own. Every Other, it is beautiful. All right, walk you down the street to this bed. This bed is on fire today. There's a lot going on here. So we'll start with these, which this is the first year I've actually seen it bloom. And the reason is the deer always eat the scapes. And I finally got them to leave it alone. This is Rocket Booster. Big flower and bold, very bold. I really like it. I know it's kind of on the simple side. I don't care, it's beautiful. And this is Wee Beginnings from Mike Grossman. Tiny toothy. And we have a hard time getting teeth up here, but that's what it is. It's there. Let's go this way. Forbidden Territory, which I like. It's kind of an earlier toothy, but it's really settled in well. Party Pinwheel. Party Pinwheel right there. It's a nice, it's been consistently lower and in the foreground, and well, that's why I planted it right at the curb. Red Squirrel. Lots of blooms today on Red Squirrel. And coming up here, Huckleberry Candy, which has proven itself to be very vigorous. And check out the pattern. So I've been putting things like Janet Carroll or Bismillah or Thank God, because I really think that the dormancy and the vigor here give me a lot to work with, and you, because I'll probably sell some of those seeds. So I'm really hitting this one for patterned eyes that are dormant to kind of push in that direction. So Huckleberry Candy, and I'll just step back so you can see the plant. And then right next to it, Mauna Loa, which is really vibrant, really just bold. But I also notice, and I want to point it out, you get this nice little streak of color going out on the midribs. And so I don't know what I put on there today, but let's see what this tag is. That's okay, that's streaking around, which obviously makes sense too. But I know today was one of the patterned eyes with the midribs, because that's something I will put on this a lot. And I'll make enough to share. At least that's the goal. And you'll notice I do have Asiatics in all my beds too, because it gives me early color. And so that one kind of winded down. Maybe there's a better look at it over here. Yeah. Another really fantastic Asiatic when you can find it. This is Starlit. So, all right, continuing the tour. This is Adina Ida's Gem. And then over here, right behind it, Stone Palace Sonic Boom. I have a couple of these Stone Palace patterned eye plants. They are vigorous. They settle in nicely. They don't like to set pods for me, so that's kind of frustrating. But I am using their pollen a little bit this year. And we'll see. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a beautiful bloom. Look at that, it's really nice. So this over here is Bauman Seedling 1310. This is the header on my Facebook page right now. And every day it looks very different. It's very hot, so not as many chevrons or rings, or as Kathleen called them, and I kind of like what her term, echoes for the rings. But that is Bauman Seedling 1310. And oh, I didn't even notice this one. Pretty sure, yeah, Martha Chamberlain. Didn't open up well today. And then you can kind of see a whole bunch of Cameroon's Twister right there. Cameroon's Twister. Let's see if I can lean over here, because they're facing this way. Graces of Ganymede. Graces of Ganymede, a dip, which I really like, just different. And then right there, Pineapple Bites. I think that's DeMaury's. John DeMaury's. Did I miss anything in this bed? No, I think I got it all. So walk back. It's just starting to go. And then hostas, because I like hostas too. But we lost the cherry tree this year. So let's walk this way, because there's still more on this side of the driveway. So this is Grant a Little Bigger Wish, and it's starting, it did not look like that earlier today. It's starting to fade. This is not registered. This is a Katrina, oh, what's her last name? Katrina's Garden, look it up. This is a seedling from her. She has, I think it's called Grant a Wish, which is a tiny bit smaller than this, and this is Grant a Little Bigger Wish. So it is a really nice diploid. This is CF Hyperion. This is as close as of an idea as we've gotten, and you can look at this one, and then I can come back and say, well, here's Hyperion. It's not the same as this, so this is not Hyperion. It is another oldie that was gifted to me many years ago. I don't know what it is. If anyone knows, tell me. So, moving along this side of the bed, we got Speckles, which is one of my favorites. Look at the clump. That's not been there that long. It is massive. Idiosyncrasy from Subhana. For people up here wanting Northern Hardy patterned eyes, I recommend it. Absolutely, it is worth it. Tiny morsel. Kind of buried down in here. I'm gonna sneak in. This scape fell over, the other ones are better. I'll go around, but that's Time in a Bottle, another good Northern Hardy patterned eye. And then growing over at Michael's Sword. Michael's Sword, showing some of those barbs today. Michael's Sword. Oh, I kind of skipped over this one. Looking a little funky today, but there it is, Pinewood Green Flash. Pinewood Green Flash, another nice, unusual diploid. All right, let's come around, come around, come around. All right, this was a gift plant this year, Coralicious. It's actually got really nice deep color. And our first registration ever, Ege. And only one open today, but lots have been open. It has been, I'm kind of sitting here going, wow, I should have waited another year, because we were in 3 years of consecutive drought. And I took all the stats and registered it with that information. And then now we're finally caught up, and it's way better. It's bigger. I think whatever I registered at, the flowers are a little bigger. The bud counts are a little higher. The branching's a little better. The scapes are like thick. So it's, I don't know when I will ever chop it apart. It was named for my kids, and it's probably going to be one of those things where I'm not sitting here to produce it, to line it out or anything. So yeah, at some point I want it to be around for other people as insurance more than anything else, but that's Ege, E-A-J, Ege. And then Maya Blue caught my eye as a little bit different of a patterned eye, Northern Hardy, with a little bit of a starburst. Not showing it today, but I think it's going to be an interesting addition for the things I want with dormant foliage. So I picked it up, and it's been blooming like crazy. One of my favorites, but it does not like to grow here, but I don't care. Not like some other plants, but this is, I can't tell if you're seeing a good view of it or not, but this is Stone Palace Sunshine. It is bold and beautiful. Doesn't like to set pods very often, but it does sometimes. You can see I tried to pollinate it with Ziziphide twice, and it said nope. Maybe 3 times, yep. So I think I put something else on it. I mean, that's the cross I think it should be this year. But and then Thanos bloomed for the first time. Stole all its pollen, threw it everywhere. But there's Thanos at the end of the day. It feels like the end of the day. For you hosta folks, there's Surprise. I'll step back so you can get a good look at that. Surprise, and I'll come up close so you can see what all the fuss is about. It is an exceptional plant. If you can get your hands on it, absolutely worthwhile plant. There's Snake Eyes coming back around to the other side. Over here, I'll start with this one, G. Willikers. G. Willikers. And there's a better look at Time in a Bottle. I really like this plant. I think it has a lot to offer for Northern Hardy with the rings, the chevrons, the echoes. And I'm pretty sure this one down here is Matt. And yeah, so not looking great today, but whatever, that happens. We all have our off days. And Tramps Like Us right there, which would be open more flat, except for that bud right there. But Tramps Like Us, which does show consistently nice teeth. It's still a small plant, but we're getting there. I'll walk back around kind of to the front of the house just to show you this one right here. This one is getting a name and registration when I get around to it. This is currently called M577B. In heat, it looks more this color. When it's a little bit cooler, it is a black eye and really richly colored. Here is another Space Coast Tiger Tail Tango. Give me 5 diploid poly. Oh, I didn't even notice you were here. Ugh. This one is one that is never gonna, I don't know, it's just, I gotta get rid of it. It just doesn't like to be here. This is armed to the teeth. It's just not flourishing here. It'll get dug up and sold at some point. Or I need to redo the bed. This is To Die For, or yeah, To Die For from Cindy Dye. Really like it. I had Tooth Talk, which actually looked very similar but did not do as well here as To Die For. So if you're further north and you like the look of Tooth Talk, but it doesn't do well for you, try this one. And then another one of those that I'm keeping around, this is Bottled Sunshine. I got it from Shriners many years ago. Yeah, I think it's still just one fan. Okay, but it's beautiful. Stone Palace Perfection. Stone Palace Perfection. If I can sneak back here with the phone. There is Beach Party Pedicure and the fire inside right there. So Beach Party Pedicure, dormant, pattern eye, awesome plant. And the fire inside, which I also absolutely highly recommend. I can't get back there, but that is Copper Miner. Here is the Social Network. I have a lot of these semis from Petite that I thought would do better. They're kind of okay, but I think the big problem with this bed, I planted it too deep. So I need to put a pathway so I can get to here and get to there. So there's plants like this one back here. I think this is Watermelon Summer or something. I can't get to that anymore to pollinate it. So all these plants in the back are kind of off limits now. This is about as far back as I can get. This is Burst Into Bloom. I don't know what that is because I can't get to the tag. I don't remember what I planted there. This one facing backwards today, this is Skullduggery. Here's One Foundation. Rounding out, we're almost to the end here, I think. Janet Carroll, which was awesome. Absolutely awesome every day. Every day it's different, but every day it's awesome. This is a toothy seedling that I picked up, and it's not toothy. So it's really bizarre. It doesn't set pods, it's not toothy, at least not for me. I was going to dig it this year and I just didn't get to it. It will be passed along. It's nice. It's just not for me. But this, we'll end with this. I'm going to turn that so you all can see the whole thing. Daughter of the King. Look at that. It is big. It has been blooming now for at least a few days. Sorry that the air conditioning is going right now, but we like to stay cool. There's my hand. Daughter of the King. Absolutely beautiful plant. Nice and tall. I'm starting to really appreciate height. Plants that I don't have to bend over to look at. So Daughter of the King. Oh, there is one more. I did miss one more. Here's a classic example of something I need to take out. Phlox that was not even supposed to be there. And popped up and is kind of shading things out. And yeah, so the last plant of the day. Let's walk up here. It's in the garage because if it rained, I didn't want it to get spoiled. So this is the last one for today. This is streaking around, and I obviously cracked that, but streaking around. And Explosion in the Paint Factory is a wonderful plant, but wow. Streaking around, the depth of color and the vibrancy of color. I have been throwing this pollen everywhere. There weren't a lot of blooms on this plant, but what I got was more than enough to work with. So there's going to be a lot of streaking around seeds, hopefully. I can't wait to plant this, and hopefully it overwinters, because I hope to enjoy this plant for years to come. So we'll end it there. That's a tour of Duluth Daylily and Duluth Hosta up here in Duluth, Minnesota in our heat wave. I hope you'd enjoyed it, and hoping you're all having a great summer.